scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. And shrieking skulls will shock your soul, feel your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.
It's the spooky month. Ho, ho, ho. It's the spooky month. Ooh.
Hey guys, it's Josh for Reviews. Oh boy, Halloween month is... Yes! Dude, Halloween month. Oh my god. Dude, when October rolls around, I am so pumped. Haunted mazes, candy, trick-or-treating, Halloween, just the whole, like, spooky atmosphere. Cheap $7 t-shirts at Walmart. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, say, oh, this is what your dad would wear to think he's cool and be hip. But it's like, guys, this is fucking awesome. This, if you don't like this shirt, there's something wrong with you. I'm just saying. Anywho, so, as I like to do every Halloween, October, I like to start off Halloween month with a Sci-Fi Channel original horror film. And today we're going to be starting with The Hollow. Now, this is, surprisingly, this is not the first film to be called The Hollow. I think there's like 2 or 3 other films called The Hollow, so don't be surprised if people get confused with this movie with another film. There was one in 2015. I think it was just called Hollow. I don't know if it was that year or if it was, but it doesn't matter. So, The Hollow, this is another Sci-Fi Channel original Halloween movie. Although this one probably has less to do with the holiday. Actually, surprisingly, Halloween's technically not a holiday, can you believe it? But yeah, this film is about 3 sisters who are going to their aunts because I guess their home is being foreclosed or something. And they have to take a ferry on this island. And it is the 100th, like every 100 years or so, this witch or these witches that were burned, basically, it was like during the Salem witch trials or something. They were burned alive and they vowed to come back like every 100 years on this island to take their revenge. And they form into this fiery, burnt tree creature. And I mean, as you can see the cover, that's what it looks like. And on par with every other sci-fi original Halloween movie I've reviewed so far, like, you know, Scarecrow, which I think it was one of my older reviews, so I don't know if it's still up. I'll probably have to check. I might re-review it at some point. Never Knock, True for Dare, The House of the Witch, and what else? I think it was The Night Before Halloween. Those films got some sort of Halloween creature, and while they're not great films by any means, I think True for Dare is the best one out of the bunch. They have their, you know, they have their quirks, and they also have their issues, this one especially, but we'll get into that in a second. So yeah, this one caught my interest. The plot seemed interesting and it seemed pretty dope, although it does follow the same formula as all these other ones. I mean, this literally is kind of a carbon copy of Scarecrow from 2013, which also premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel. Fuck, I think it's even the same director. I think the director did all these movies, so it's pretty fitting. Although I think this is the last one, so I'll have to find another sci-fi Halloween one. I don't know if there's another one, but who knows? Maybe I'll just review a sci-fi horror film. I don't know. I like doing these. These are fun. But yeah, so I've been rambling. How's the movie? Okay, well, it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic. There's nothing really to comment on. This film is, yeah, it's pretty basic. Okay, first of all, I want to say something. I don't care that these are made for TV films. I think that kind of adds to like the kind of B-movie quality. It's clearly a B-level creature feature Halloween movie. I mean, it really doesn't have much to do with Halloween other than the fact that it's like, you know, it takes place the day before Halloween, and Halloween is mainly like a, you know, kind of just briefly mentioned. Besides some pumpkins you see in the background, this really has nothing to do with Halloween. But I mean, I didn't care about that. The plot was all right. It was all right. The characters, they're okay. I mean, the acting is fine for a B-level movie. I mean, if you know that this is a Sci-Fi Channel original movie, you know what you're getting yourself into. You're not expecting like A-tier quality level acting or something. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And I know that going to these films. Grave Halloween. That's another one that I forgot to mention. Grave Halloween. That one was pretty good. But, yeah, so what are the things I liked about this film? Well, first of all, if you know what you're getting yourself into, this film's going to be a lot of fun. And it was. There was a lot of fun to be had in a movie like this. First of all, the CGI is not half bad for, you know, like a low-budget, made-for-TV movie. I don't know what it's called. I don't think they really refer to it as a name, so I'm just going to call it the Hollow Creature. The Hollow Creature really looked dope, and when this thing was on screen, I was just like, ooh, that's cool. And there's some really cool shots that they use with fire. For example, there's a scene where these two characters are locked in a freezer, and then the one character just looks behind him, and he sees just an orange glow, and you see the reflection in the freezer, and I'm just like, ooh, that's a nice shot. I like that. And there's another scene where someone touches like a piece of paper on a wall. I think it's like a map of the town, and it catches fire immediately as soon as he touches it, and the flame starts to, like, you know, kind of evolve or just kind of spread through the map, and then the creature grabs the person, and I was like, that's cool. I like what they did. There's a lot of basically what I'm trying to say is I like how in these sci-fi movies they really utilize like what the creature is capable of. While maybe they kind of just have, even if it's like a few things, I really liked specifically this creature and what it was capable of doing. It really was interesting in the way it looked, in the way it moved, in the way it sounded. I loved it. It was great. It was great. I loved it. The characters are all right. I mean, the main issue I have with all these films is that the conflict they always seem to have in these films is just like, you know, I mean, the thing I find funny about these films is they always try to make the conflict bigger than what it is. Like, I mean, they're always like, oh, the creature is around here somewhere. We need to stay on guard. So you go over there and you watch guard, or you stand guard while I go and, you know, pump the gas. It's just like, why don't you guys just stick together? You guys don't have to make it this big ordeal or something. I mean, you guys are making it this situation worse than what it already is, which is another issue. I mean, sometimes the characters make some idiotic decisions. I mean, for the most part, they have a pretty good idea of what to do. This thing is going to disappear the next morning, so just stay hidden in one spot and just wait for the night to blow over. Wait for the night to blow over. And the two characters that do this they go into a locker, but they end up locking themselves in the freezer, therefore, you know, getting themselves killed. Spoiler alert, but I'm not going to specify which ones. I don't even know if you guys will watch it, but anyways, and you know, it's like, okay, not a bad idea. You know, stay together, stay in a group, you know, get some guns. They go to the police station. Smart decisions, smart decisions. I'll say the middle half of this movie is where things really get entertaining and really good and really solid. And then it kind of gets weaker as it progresses. The characters kind of just split up a lot. And I kept thinking to myself, you guys are better in numbers. Why do you guys just keep splitting up from each other? This is not good. This is bad. And at least two characters, I think, do it multiple times during the climax of this film. They constantly split up and they constantly are like, hey, creature, come over here, follow me. Basically, you know, doing the fucking, the flare thing from Jurassic Park where they're like, come towards me, come for me, leave them alone. It's just like, guys, what are you doing? Just stay together. You guys are better in numbers. I don't get why in horror films people always think they need to split up. You don't see it as much in horror films, but I mean, in this one, you see it a lot. They start splitting up and it got annoying to a certain degree. So I feel like for some people, that might be an issue. It wasn't for me. I kind of, you know, it was just like, okay, I expect it. And there wasn't really any big consequences. I mean, they split up and nothing really happens for the most part. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, you know, whatever. It didn't really matter in the end anyways. But for a lot of people, this could probably feel like rinse and repeat since a lot of the characters do just run from one location to another. It can feel pretty rinse and repeat, but the dialogue is, you know, it's engaging. I wanted to see these characters get out. I like the sister relationship between two of them. The other two, on the other hand, seemed very, you know, just, they had, it felt like the writers were like, oh, we got to have a conflict with these two. So you're not brave enough or something. It's just like, okay, you know, they're just kind of like giving, they're not really fleshing out the conflict that much. They're just kind of giving them a conflict for like, to pad out the runtime. And when you start to piece it together, like when you start to really like, you know, pick it apart, you're kind of like, okay, you know, this is one. But I mean, the movie is still fun. I still had a fun time watching. I'm not going to nitpick films like this. I mean, yes, you could nitpick the shit out of this film. And look, truth be told, this is not a good film by any means, especially by, you know, modern day standards, even though this is like from 2015, but like, you know, it's not that great. But like when I review a movie like this, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna give it a B-. But when you watch a movie like this, you have to know what you're getting yourself into in order to enjoy it. If you don't, then you know, it's just like, why are you even watching it? Why are you choosing to watch something like this if you already know ahead of time, you know, what you're getting yourself into? It's like, okay, I'm gonna watch this movie, and I know it's probably not going to be as good as other films. And then you watch and you're like, well, that was bad. It's like, what did you expect? I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into. So if you go in with a, you know, that mindset of like, it's a B movie, you'll have a much better time. Much better time. So, have some issues with it. But yeah, I had a fun time watching it. And I'm glad I watched it. So, put it on next to Never Knock and Truth or Dare and Scarecrow and all these other sci-fi original Halloween movies, and you'll have a blast. It's fun. It's fun. It's dumb fun. Anywho, guys, Halloween month is starting. Woo! Pooh! Gonna be reviewing some awesome ones. Yeah! Come on, Jack. We got an adventure to go on.
Oh shit, he's moving.